And thunderstorms, even a threat of some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening. We'll break down that severe weather forecast coming up. Your news starts right now.
There's moments that I've woken up in the middle of the evening and the middle of the night and thought, how on earth did I end up in all of this?
A former spokesman for Aaron Schock speaks about the controversial congressman, what he has to say about the Downton Abbey office and the downfall that followed.
Plus, why state funds will soon head to early intervention programs, even though there's still no budget.
But first, Central Illinois once again has a congressman.
Darren LaHood was sworn into office today. He sent his letter of resignation to the General Assembly, formally stepping down from his seat in the Senate as well. LaHood says he's honored to now represent the 18th District and is humbled by an outpouring of support. It's now up to the GOP chairman in the 37th State Senate District to appoint that next senator.
Red walls, part of a redecorated office, sparked a string of stories that led to the downfall of Aaron Schock. It's a story we first brought to you on WMBD News at 6. Tonight, we're hearing more from Schock's former spokesman, Ben Cole. I spoke with him via satellite in Dallas about what happened before he resigned and his time with Schock. It's a story you'll only see on WMBD.
The morning that I resigned, it was very clear that that was the only course for me. It was in my best interest. It was in the best interest of Congressman Schock. It was in the best interest of the other office staff for me to be removed from the picture.
Just a few days after the Washington Post broke the story about the Downton Abbey-inspired office redecoration, instead of fielding questions, Schock's media spokesman Ben Cole was the one the media was talking about.
The context of what I wrote, I hope people understand, was an ongoing spike in violent crime.
The cause, controversial Facebook comments from 2013. In the posts, Cole compared two black people to zoo animals.
I regret that in a few moments of what seemed to be lighthearted humor, I said things that I deeply regret and that caused harm to me, and I think brought shame.
He says his decision to resign as Schock's spokesman was his own.
He had much more important things to deal with, given the level of media scrutiny circling around him.
Cole stepped down February 5th. Schock did the same March 31st after months of stories questioning his spending practices.
I never saw anything that would lead me to believe that the public trust had been violated, that laws had been broken, that ethics guidelines had been disregarded. Though I had found what I believe to be problem areas in some of the public reports of how disbursements had been made and how money had been spent, at the time I attributed it to an accounting error, inexperience, and sloppiness.
And that's where Cole is now. He has testified in front of a grand jury investigating Schock and his spending, but he didn't want to talk about what he said during that testimony when we asked. He did tell us what he's doing today.
I'm choosing to stay in Washington, D.C. I've been able to repair relationships and provide assurance to people who had questions about my character or my views and beliefs.
How he feels about the whole controversy.
There's a tremendous degree of sadness that what could have been a great opportunity, what was a great opportunity, what could have been a great story of success has turned into a scandal.
And what he hopes for everyone embroiled in it all.
Everybody's got to make that judgment for themselves. I just know that my responsibility is to tell the truth and then trust the people to make those determinations. I think that's true for everyone involved in this, from the congressman all the way down to the lowest staffer.
We've reached out to Aaron Schock multiple times to get his take and haven't heard back.
A man accused of trying to run over a Creve Coeur police officer before leading police on a multi-county chase is now formally facing charges. Michael Cleary appeared in a Tazewell County courtroom. He's charged with aggravated assault and aggravated fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. He faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. It all started after Creve Coeur police were called to Lucky Break around 4 a.m. Tuesday. Police say after Cleary was kicked out, he got behind the wheel of an SUV and tried to hit an officer who shot him in the hand. Cleary took off with police in pursuit along Route 29 onto I-74 in Peoria. Cleary was arrested after crashing the SUV. He is scheduled to appear in court again October 8th. His bond was set at $75,000.
After a child was left alone in a car Wednesday, we're learning new details about exactly what happened. Police say they got the call around 5 o'clock and were sent to the Aldi on University Street in Peoria. Lula Lyons, the woman arrested in connection to the incident, is charged with endangering the life or health of a child. The child's believed to be 6 or 7 months old. Police say she was taking care of the baby but isn't related to her and didn't even know her name. The baby was taken to the hospital and could be heard crying as she was put into that ambulance. The girl is now in protective custody.
The state's early intervention program helps children up to 3 years old with disabilities like autism. It funds in-home therapies that can help a child develop during the most critical years of their life. But until yesterday, those therapists weren't being paid after receiving about 5,000 calls a week. The comptroller had DHS take a closer look at court rulings. They found enough in one to justify reopening funding for the program. Matt Porter has more in a story from our Capitol newsroom.
21-month-old Theo McVeigh was born with most of his intestines outside, leaving him in critical condition.
He couldn't sit up, he couldn't lay on his stomach, and now he's almost walking independently. He's caught up, he was very behind developmentally, and he's almost caught up to where he should be for his age.
He's done it with the help of Illinois' early intervention program. But days ago, his adopted mother, Michelle Lewandowski, got some troubling news.
And last week, two of our providers told us that they could no longer provide the services because they haven't been paid since mid-June.
The Capitol's budget stalemate finally hit home.
I was really angry, but I wasn't angry with them. I was angry with the government.
She was angry with Governor Bruce Rauner, who called the summer deadlock necessary for change.
Because it's easy for him to say when he's incredibly wealthy. You know what I mean? If his children needed services, he'd be able to provide them.
Days later, the comptroller announced money will begin flowing into the program, but she's still worried about a final budget.
The fact that they're going to finally start to pay the providers is kind of a stopgap. It's not a fix.
Lawmakers say while the program may be safe for now, the longer the state goes without a budget, the worse all programs are.
But I think once October 1st rolls around, we're going to see some real issues with probably layoffs to state employees, programs being shut down, other nonprofits that provide human services having a real problem.
The problem isn't solved. The state is close to spending more than $5 billion than it's taking in. That could mean deeper cuts for the EI program once lawmakers agree on a budget.
Flu season is almost here, and the director for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reminding you about how to protect yourself and your family.
The best defense against flu is to get vaccinated each and every year, and we remember that the vaccine contains protection against a number of different influenza viral strains.
The CDC director said there was an unusually high number of flu cases last year and the highest hospitalization rate for seniors. That's because of the H3 strain of the disease. Now, even though they can't predict the flu, an H3 dominant year will be bad for seniors, making the vaccine even more vital to the community.
The Federal Reserve is not raising interest rates. The central bank is waiting for more improvement in the U.S. economy. The rate has been near zero since December 2008 during the Great Recession.
Recent global economic and financial developments are likely to put further downward pressure on inflation in the near term. These developments may also restrain U.S. activity somewhat, but have not led at this point to a significant change in the committee's outlook for the U.S. economy.
An increase would have impacted car and home loans, savings accounts, and the stock market.
The nation's largest automaker, General Motors, is set to settle the criminal case concerning faulty ignition switches that have been tied to 100 deaths. The Justice Department made the announcement today. It comes after GM recalled millions of cars and trucks to fix the faulty ignition switches. The problem was discovered a decade before the recall was made. GM admitted it was wrong to delay issuing the recall, but a spokesman for GM refused to comment Wednesday when asked about the settlement.
A new bar brings old games, the 8-Bit Revival, headed to Peoria's Warehouse District. But first, Chris?
Well, another warm and humid day across central Illinois, but we're tracking some showers and thunderstorms heading our way, and even a chance for severe weather tomorrow. We'll break down that forecast coming up.
You're watching WMBD News at 10 in high definition with Paul Cicchini, Maria Chandler, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast, and Kurt Pegler with sports. This is WMBD News at 10. Central Illinois proud. This portion of WMBD News is brought to you by Pods.
How does Pods help remove the stress from storage? We deliver a container. You fill it up with things you're keeping for later and forever. Whenever you're ready, just call us. We'll drive your locked container to one of our secure storage centers. Pods.
Join us for the Upstream Auto Group Getting Gear Race and Tailgate event September 27th in Washington. Enter the 1 mile, 5K, or 10K race to benefit the Central Illinois Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Register today at runthegig.com.
Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois. Take a break from the day and enjoy a delicious lunch in our wine cellar restaurant. And enjoy a variety of soups, sandwiches, desserts, all made fresh daily. Live the good life here at Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois.
It's time for the Extreme Hyundai Pro Pick of the Week with Dan O'Brien and Brian Cox.
Brian, the lineup looks great, but who's the standout this week?
I'm going with the 2015 Sonata. Just look at the stats. 0% for 75 months or lease for $169 a month.
Great stats this month. And every single car comes with a lifetime warranty. Come see us at Extreme Hyundai in Bloomington Normal or visit us online at extremehyundai.com.
Now I can't wait to open the curtain and see my new tub and shower. Deciding to use Bathfitter was the smartest decision we ever made. Bathfitter custom molds an acrylic tub that fits right over the existing one. And there's a matching wall unit, all in about a day. This is so nice. I can't believe we did all this for about 1/3 of the cost of a new bathroom and only a fraction of the hassle.
Bathfitter, we're the perfect fit.
When the snow starts flying, German Bliss Equipment can help with a snowblower from Honda, or Simplicity, a SnowX salt spreader, or a Snowway truck plow. And from now till September 30th, receive a $300 down payment from Snowway. You can't miss with German Bliss.
The Storm Tracker Skycam Network, brought to you by Parker Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. Now, your local weather authority, WMBD's chief meteorologist, Chris Yates.
Thanks for sticking with us. A wonderful night so far. Temperatures now in the 70s after what was a pretty hot day across central Illinois. 79 currently in Peoria. Temperatures all over the place, mainly in the 70s, but 75 in Pontiac, 74 in Bloomington Normal. Lincoln now 75 as well. Mostly cloudy skies pushing into Peoria, but for the most part, the showers and storms are still well off to our west. We've had some showers and storms venture northward, kind of clipping portions of LaSalle County currently. And we're watching another little batch of moisture, another little round of thunderstorms developing in southeastern Iowa. That'll track through the area later tonight, moving through after midnight, perhaps even closer to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then that'll move through the area. But the real system is just now beginning to cross the central Rockies. You can see a bit of a spin there now pushing into western Wyoming. This is the upper level low, and as it begins to kick eastward, it is also going to help strengthen an area of low pressure that is also developing at the surface down in eastern Colorado, and with that will come a much better chance for showers and storms tomorrow. So we do have this cold front sitting just off to our west. It'll make somewhat of an eastern push tonight, but won't completely get through the area because this area of low pressure off to our southwest is going to kick it back to the north as a warm front, and this is where our destabilization comes in play for tomorrow, because we're going to keep these southerly winds bringing in this warm, moist air into central Illinois, so a nice warm, moist flow at the surface. You got a jet stream aloft with winds coming out of the west and southwest, and that'll give us a little bit of turning with the winds with height, which is what we like to call wind shear. And with wind shear and instability, you get the ingredients needed for strong to severe storms to begin to develop, especially in the warm sector, which is areas just south of the warm front. And central Illinois will be in that area through the day and through tomorrow evening until the front finally comes through tomorrow night. So here's future track. Some showers and storms coming through the area. Some brief heavy rain possible with some of these heavier showers coming through by early tomorrow morning. But you'll notice by 7 o'clock, all that activity is off to our east, so we will get a break by early tomorrow morning. Perhaps no rain for your morning commute. We'll save all that for later on in the day. Temperatures in the 70s and 60s, Bloomington Normal 67, 70 degrees out in Peoria. Tomorrow afternoon, here comes the next batch of moisture. Some strong to severe storms ripping on through the area. And then tomorrow evening, more storms coming in from the west. And this is where we can be looking at even another round of severe storms. Now, currently, the greatest risk for severe weather is going to be along and west of the Illinois River. Temperature-wise, into the 80s tomorrow, a high of 85 degrees. Our greatest risk for severe storms tomorrow afternoon and evening. The primary threats with those will be large hail, damaging winds, and some localized flooding. Now, there is a risk for some isolated tornadoes. For now, it's a very low chance, but we'll keep an eye on it because if that surface low can strengthen a little bit more, that risk for tornadoes might begin to increase just a little bit. All right, here's your Southside Bank 8-day outlook. Severe storms tomorrow afternoon and evening, clearing skies through the day on Saturday, but temperatures taking a dive down into the 70s through the weekend and through a good portion of next week. We will bounce back into the 80s by this time next week.
All right, the summer of 2015 is the hottest on record. That's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. A just-released report says land and sea temperatures from June through August were the highest they've been since record-keeping began back in 1880. Last year's average highs also set a record, but the 2015 average surpassed it. Earlier this year, NOAA predicted 2015 would be the hottest year ever. I'd like to be on that beach.
I was
Nice
just thinking
beach.
that looks fun. I think our beach days are over.
They're over. And we never really had many of them this year.
No.
I mean, we were one of the oddly the cooler locations in the country.
Time to get excited about fall, I suppose.
I suppose.
After we get through tomorrow.
Yes.
Not many
All right.
beach activities during fall.
Nope.
Thanks, Chris. Setting up students for a successful future the way Bradley is helping their students plan for what comes after graduation.
It's the 60 for 6 event at Furniture Row. For 6 days, we're offering 60 months of no-interest financing with a new Furniture Row card. Hurry, offer ends Thursday.
It's important for my vision to remain sharp, and progressive lenses are closer to my natural vision.
Through the end of October at Bard Optical, get progressive no-line bifocals for just $99.
I'm so happy I got my exam, contacts, and glasses at Bard. Now I just have to decide between wearing my cute glasses or awesome contacts.
And you could have the same choice. Right now at Bard Optical, get an exam, contacts, and glasses for only $149. Bard Optical, vision for life.
In high school, she liked physics and the chance to do things once only boys did.
And in 1932, she took that chance. In a Lockheed Vega, she became the first woman to solo the Atlantic.
Breaking speed, altitude, and distance records, she would become the ticker tape heroine of her age.
Amelia Earhart broke more than records. She broke barriers for other women.
And encouraged them to set their own limits.
Dillman Brothers salutes those who teach and the students who reach for excellence.
Green Ford has done it again. If I haven't said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Nobody beats a Green Ford deal, especially with deals like this. Up to $4,000 off the Focus and the Fusion. Up to $5,000 off the Transit and the Edge. Up to $6,000 off the Escapes and the Explorers. Up to $8,000 off the Taurus and the Transit Connects. Up to $9,000 off the F-150 and up to $11,500 off the Super Duties. You gotta go to Green. Open 24/7 at greenfordstore.com.
Now's the time to upgrade to a better night's sleep at a great price from Denver Mattress. Our queen-size Madison Eurotop with Ergo Motion adjustable base is just $32 a month with no interest for 60 months. Better tomorrows start tonight at Denver Mattress, your adjustable bed headquarters.
When Trouble Free came out for service, they're very thorough, they're very well trained, they know what they're doing, and I have a lot of questions sometimes, so I will ask them, and they're always very patient. The person who was here was very knowledgeable, knew the product, knew what our needs were. I have confidence in the integrity and the character of Dave Osborne, who's the owner of Trouble Free.
For more information, go to TroubleFreeInc.com.
Trouble Free always makes me smile.
You're watching WMBD News at 10.
It's a throwback to the 80s. A video arcade with a twist is set to open this weekend in downtown Peoria. It's called 8-Bit Beercade. No coins are required to play Pac-Man or Mortal Kombat, but the upsell is alcohol, as the business is also a bar. There are over 130 beers to choose from. Owner Jason Pacey says he got the idea for an adult arcade after touring the bar scene in Chicago. He says the Peoria Riverfront was the only place he considered for his new venture.
It had to be on the riverfront regardless. So it's good to see that everything else is coming around too. So it's just, hopefully everything feeds off each other down here.
Grand opening of 8-Bit Beercade is Saturday at noon.
Bradley University is trying to help its students succeed in their future careers. The school hosted a job fair at Renaissance Coliseum on campus. 194 companies showcased themselves today. Organizers say they expected about 20% of all Bradley students to stop by at the fair. They say the earlier a student visits with the company, the better served they are later.
Another thing we've seen bigger companies do is that they're actually tracking the number of student interactions that they have with a specific student. So if you go and interact with a company your first year and your second year and your third year, they're tracking that in ways that make you a stronger candidate for that company.
Needy says companies like to keep the talent pool fresh by building that relationship with students early on.
Tonight's extra effort winner designed something that had not been created in 30 years in Peoria. Kurt has the story and more next in sports.
It's Ram Truck Month here at Sam Lehman Morton Supercenter. We're crushing prices and crushing the competition, and this is how we roll.
Right now with a brand new Sam Lehman of Morton, get a 2015 Ram 1500 for only $20,990. Save over $5,000 on in-stock Jeep Cherokees. Or get a brand new Jeep for only $13,990 and save over $6,000 on in-stock clearance priced minivans. Or this month, get 0% for 75 months.
Come see why we do the deals no one else will.
Live the good life here at Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois. Goods Furniture has a wide selection of furniture for every room in your home at prices to fit every budget. We look forward to seeing you at Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois.
Get in touch with your creative side as the Gazebo Art Festival returns to Macomb. Enjoy everything from Brazilian bossa nova to jazz standards live at the Al Sears Jazz Festival with headliner Al Chaz and the Brothers of Funk. Another great reason to make it Macomb.
Time's running out. Install that new carpet free from UFS. UFS, your flooring headquarters, about 10 minutes from anywhere.
Avanti's of Bloomington Normal joins WMBD and WYZZ in saluting the class of 2015 and the teachers who inspired them. It's the spirit of excellence.
I like things fast. So I was first in line when Frontier started offering a year of Amazon Prime. I don't wait for shipping, and I get instant access to thousands of shows and movies using Frontier's fast, reliable internet.
Switch to Frontier high-speed internet for just $19.99 per month with qualifying phone and one-year agreement on new internet service and get 1 year of Amazon Prime.
It's movie time.
Get Frontier high-speed internet today. Call 1-888-FRONTIER.
Drive home a new Range Rover Evoque for $389 a month at JaguarLandRoverPeoria.com.
It's a study hall, an art studio, a racetrack, and a storage space. So Papa Murphy's has an idea. How about tonight, you turn it into a dinner table. Fill your table with a hot from your oven Papa Murphy's pizza, scratch-made dough, real mozzarella, and market-fresh meats and veggies. Home bake a large Papa Murphy's signature cowboy, just $10. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's, love at 425 degrees.
Now, your local sports with WMBD's Kurt Fegler.
Is it going to be a fun weekend or what? The Cardinals and Cubs open a 3-game series at Wrigley Field on Friday, both coming off big wins in the division on Thursday, but a scary moment in the Cardinals' win at Milwaukee. The Cardinals' Tommy Pham lines a shot off the back of the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson. Goes off his head. Kieram's into foul territory. A run would score on the play, but Nelson is down. He leaves the game, amazingly walks off under his own power, off to a local hospital for some testing. Cardinals win at 6-3. Cubs finish off a series where they take 3 of 4 in Pittsburgh. Down a run in the 5th when Anthony Rizzo gives the Cubs the lead with a 2-run blast to right to make it 5-4 Cubs. They'd explode for 6 in the inning. Pitcher Clayton Richard with a 2-run double. The Cubs win it. They climb within 2 games of Pittsburgh now for the wild card lead. Tonight's Extra Effort Award winner is on his way to becoming an Eagle Scout while helping area runners stay fit. Go! Brady Dickerson will likely never forget the start of his senior year.
I'm very happy with the finished product. Just kind of running out there made it a lot easier.
That's it, Wilson. Dickerson made good on a rare opportunity. He helped design the cross-country course his Notre Dame team calls home. He and Coach Dan Gray laid out the 3.1-mile course on the property of the recently closed Donovan Golf Course.
You want it evenly spread out. You don't want it to one side, or else it won't set correctly.
Then he and his teammates marked the course for competition.
I know if people were a little mad about the golf course closing, it was a shame because I like to go golf out there too. But we kind of just took what was given to us, made a good advantage out of it.
You have available a blank slate and able to create something that's a little more unique than something that's been done around here. I'm not really sure actually when there's been a brand new cross-country course built around here for It's probably been, 30 years or so, I would guess.
Go Irish! Dickerson is using the project to gain Eagle Scout status, but he wants the running course to be more than just his scout project.
I'm hoping that it stays for a long time because, whenever we go out there for practice, there's usually people walking their dog or just out for a walk, and I just hope it helps the community for more people to get more active. And that's what I was aiming for, to help out the community big time, not just our high school.
Nice going, Brady. Mid-Illini co-leader Washington in volleyball hosting Dunlap tonight, and the Eagles' Erica Armstrong with the block and the point at the net. But Washington is going to remain unbeaten in the conference. Claire Schrock to Bryn Newkirk for that point. Then Newkirk and Hannah Himes team up for this block, and the Panthers are winners in 2. The other Mid-Illini co-leader is Pekin playing at Morton, and the Potters are on fire. Emily Mouchon perfectly placing this point. Morton wins the first set. Pekin trying to rally. Maddie Cash, big swing for the point here, but Morton hands the Dragons their first league loss. Elizabeth Redhead to Haley Dullard, and the Potters are 2-set winners. Corn Belt Conference matchup. Eureka playing at U-High tonight, and the middle hitter, Haley Flowers with the point here for the Hornets. And this time it's going to be Lauren Roki, the superb junior, with one of her 9 kills for the Hornets. One more time for Eureka. Not so fast. Michelle Stasinski and Elise Standard there for the block, and the Pioneers win it in 2. How about the Tremont Turks, Heart of Illinois Conference leaders? They're hosting Ridgeview. This is Carissa Tinsley serving the Mustangs ace there. How about back on the other side for Tremont? Allie Ramlow with the ace of her own, and then it's going to be Leah Oswald with the hammer. Point here for the Turks, and a win for the Turks. They're still undefeated in the conference. More high school sports, including highlights of soccer wins today by Notre Dame and U-High at our website, ciproud.com. Briefly, the A's beat the White Sox in the NFL game that you just saw. Broncos beating the Chiefs in the final minute, 31-24. And finally, Metamora cheerleaders doing push-ups for every point the football team scores. And while one set of cheerleaders does the work, the others count under blankets with hot chocolate, perhaps with some candles burning in the background under smooth jazz. Yeah. I don't know. One side doing all the work, the other side's enjoying the night.
That would be me, wrapped up in the blanket with my hot chocolate. I can maybe do like 1 push-up.
Push-ups for all.
Then we better not score a whole lot of points on this set then. Huh?
Yeah, thank goodness. All right, Chris, back right after this.
This portion of WMBD News is brought to you by
where it's more than a car.
It's a Honda.
Join us for the Uptring Auto Group Getting Gear Race and Tailgate event September 27th in Washington. Enter the 1 mile, 5K, or 10K race to benefit the Central Illinois Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Register today at runthegig.com.
Dr. Lee and the Orthopedic and Shoulder Center have you covered. Physician visit, x-ray, therapy, MSK ultrasound, and MRI all in the same day and under the same roof. Call 309-888-9800 or visit orthopedicshoulder.com.
She remembered it was a wildflower.
It was held in the hand of a teacher that inspired her to paint.
And she would paint with nature as a favorite theme. They were powerful images.
Landscapes and natural forms, bold and beautiful, painted on a scale with colors as unique as the desert Southwest she loved. Inspired by a teacher.
Georgia O'Keeffe pursued her dream to become an artist and became something more, an American original.
Saluting the spirit of excellence, we are the Bloomington Public Library. Barker Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac joined WMBD and WYCC in saluting educators across Central Illinois and the students who use that education to follow their dreams. It's the spirit of excellence.
Hi, I'm Leonard with Verlo Mattress. I'd like to tell you about a sale we're doing. It's called a Mega Mattress Clearance Sale. In it, you could save up to $250 on a mattress set. If you include an adjustable base, it's up to $500. Along with that, we've got bunk beds and futons and headboards all on sale. Why settle for something out of a warehouse when you can actually have something that's made just for you? You get all the services that come with that from Verlo Mattress. Stop in and see it. We're at 4538 North Brandywine Drive right here in Peoria.
In high school, she liked physics and the chance to do things once only boys did.
And in 1932, she took that chance. In a Lockheed Vega, she became the first woman to solo the Atlantic.
Breaking speed, altitude, and distance records, she would become the ticker tape heroine of her age.
Amelia Earhart broke more than records. She broke barriers for other women.
And encouraged them to set their own limits.
Saluting the spirit of excellence, we are IBEW 197.
How do you connect with your customers while staying ahead of the digital revolution? Tactive Digital is the partner you can rely on to help navigate the ever-evolving digital marketing landscape. To schedule your free digital analysis, visit tactivedigital.com.
The Mid-Central Illinois Regional Council of Carpenters and WMBD are proud to present Central Illinois students singing America the Beautiful. Every day on WMBD News This Morning, it's the spirit of excellence. You're watching WMBD News at 10.
I just love this for the record. At the Peoria Riverfront, they're creating quite a stir while making patrons re-examine their past awkward family photos. They viewed this week, 190 in all. It shows the strange, the kooky, the sometimes downright sorry.
Weird mementos captured by families across the country. The candid photographs paint a portrait of real Americana. Some say the images make them relive ungraceful memories of the past, but museum officials say it's all part of the appeal.
Something everybody can relate to and understand. We have some experience with it. I think it relates a little bit to the TV show America's Funniest Home Videos, that kind of thing. Again, that everyday mistake.
The Peoria Riverfront Museum wants you to become a living part of the exhibit. They've placed a large empty frame in the lobby for people who want to create their own awkward family photos. The exhibit runs through November 15th. You should probably go at least twice.
That woman's hair is on fire. I was trying to help the kid pull out the kid.
It made for a great picture, though, didn't it? I mean,
I watched that video earlier. It just makes me laugh so much.
That you're crying.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. It's just so funny, the baby in the armpit.
I got a few of those at home too.
Oh my gosh.
Might have to bring those in. Hey, check out the final look at our forecast. We're going to have a nice cooling trend as we go through the next couple of days. Temperatures will be below average as we head into the weekend tomorrow. Still pretty warm, but we'll also be looking at a threat of strong to severe storms, especially tomorrow afternoon and evening. The weekend looks much better and less awkward. There we go.
All right. We'll be ready for tomorrow to be over.
Yes.
Hopefully severe weather stays good. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we're available on air, online, and on the go.
You can head over to our website, ciproud.com, and get the latest news on our app for your phone or tablet. Colbert's next.